this week-ending edition of Big Ten Today. I'm your host, Rick Pizzo. We are presented today by Gatorade. Solo in studio, physically, yes, but never emotionally. Not when Jerry DiNardo is with me through the magic of television. Jerry, welcome inside the show. It feels like football season a little bit, not like it feels in September and October, but you've been here. You've done this. You get into this area of April and so many teams getting set to finish up spring ball and get on the field for spring football games.
You know, spring football is an interesting thing that we go through. I'm actually surprised with all the changes in college football that we still have spring practice. And yet, when you talk about the four schools that we're going to talk about here in a minute, you could see how valuable it is. I thought a couple years ago that the college game would go to OTAs like the NFL does. But so far, spring ball's around, the sun's out, and everybody's undefeated, Rick.
That is always the best part of this time of the year as we begin, as we often do, with our big story, focused on two of the biggest names in all of college football. 2025 national champ Ohio State takes the field for its spring game this Saturday. Ryan Day, Julian Sayin and company looking to lead OSU back to the playoff. That same day sees the Maize and Blue debut for first-year head coach Kyle Whittingham, who understands the expectations in Ann Arbor, especially a returning quarterback like Bryce Underwood under center.
Yeah, we banged pretty good this spring. There was a lot of physicality to our practice, which is our standard operational procedure. That's how we've done it for a lot of years, this staff. And you got to scale back a little bit on that in the fall because you're getting ready for games. But we needed to find out who was who here and who the tough guys are, and no other way to do it than to go at it. There is an element of risk. But you gotta weigh the pros and cons of what you're doing. But overall, it was a very physical spring. We found out a lot about a lot of the guys on this team, and so that's still a work in progress.
I love Kyle Whittingham talking about finding out who his tough guys are. He looks like a tough guy, covered in sweat. He's got the towel around his shoulders, just came out of the weight room. Jerry, you mentioned at the start of the show that you're a bit surprised in today's day and age that we are still having spring football to the level that we're having it. And Kyle Whittingham just described it. Ryan Day did the same last year, coming off Ohio State's national championship into the 2025 spring. He said we wanted to go softer. We actually went harder. So walk us through, in this day and age, where you're playing into late January now for the college football playoff. What are the pros and cons of what these teams can do during spring ball?
Oh, I think the only con, Rick, is injuries. Other than that, there's a lot of pros. Now, you take Ohio State by way of example, one of the most talented groups in the country, right? You take a look at Michigan, same thing, but the difference is Michigan has a new coaching staff. Could you imagine not being able to coach your team until the fall when you take over programs? Same thing with Pat Fitzgerald at Michigan State, right? So there's a lot of upsides to it. The downsides is only an injury. Ohio State, on the other hand, they're going to have like 40, 50, 60,000 people in the stands. So it's not necessarily a moneymaker, but a lot of Ohio State fans that perhaps can't make it to the fall games, they get a chance to see their team in the spring. So again, I think the only real downside is if you get somebody hurt in spring practice.
So, Jerry, a few years ago, there were whispers and conversations that maybe spring ball would go the way of extinction. Do you think the future will include spring ball for even the most high-profile programs in the country?
I think we may see some legislation that allows each school to make their own decision, where if you don't want to have spring practice, maybe they'll give you a few more days when you get into fall practice. If you're a new staff, or if you have a new quarterback, you don't even have to have a new staff. Bryce Underwood is a great example of both a new quarterback and a new staff. Could you imagine not having spring practice? And yet, my guess is, other than staff changes at Ohio State, could they do without spring practice? And would Ryan Day say, I'd rather have 5 or 10 more days in the fall and not do spring practice? And then you have 60,000 people that are disappointed that they can't see their team in the spring or in the fall. So my guess, not in the near future, Rick, but I could see someday college football going to the OTAs like the NFL.
You mentioned Michigan a couple of times. We'll get to the Wolverines coming up in just a bit. Let's start, though, with Ohio State and the one major staff change. Arthur Smith comes in as the new OC. Now, it's interesting, Jerry, because last year Ryan Day went the NFL route to get Matt Patricia, and I think we can say that worked out fairly well, despite a lot of folks questioning the hire because Patricia hadn't spent much, if any, time in college. The exact same situation is here with Arthur Smith, and yet there doesn't seem to be that big a difference these days between what we're doing in the NFL and what teams like Ohio State are doing in college.
Right. The X's and O's in college football in the recent years has turned towards the NFL. That's why a guy like Arthur Smith is a home run. Now, here's what's happened. It wasn't too long ago we were a spread conference, or college football was all spread. It was run 90 to 100 plays. It was to try to wear down the defense. It was try dual threat quarterbacks, be explosive with the vertical game. And now there's a turn. Last year we saw Ohio State play slow ball. Right? You and I talked about it on Countdown to Kickoff every week, how few plays Ohio State was playing. So now let's talk about Arthur Smith. He was an intern like in 2010 at Ole Miss. I believe that's his only college experience. But here's the deal, Rick. Here's what the offensive college football is going to look like for the next few years. It's going to look like you need a run game. It's going to look like you need to have a bunch of drop-back protections because of all of the simulated defenses and the disguises of defense. And so it's no longer the spread. So your quarterback is so vitally important. So you take someone like Arthur Smith from the NFL. Recruiting's not an issue. One of the reasons some coaches wanted to be in the NFL all the time was recruiting. Well, now the staffs are so big, Arthur Smith really doesn't have to be on the road all that much. He'll meet with the quarterbacks. Maybe he'll make a home visit to the quarterbacks, but Arthur Smith won't have weekly and daily contact with recruiting like back in the day when we didn't have as big a staffs as we had. So I say all that to say this. What you're going to see in college football, the most talented teams, because there's still going to be room for spread in the option, what you're going to see in the most talented teams and what you're going to see Ohio State do is physical run game, sophisticated pass protection. So when Matt Patricia in spring ball blitzes Arthur Smith, it's going to look like an NFL practice. Because Matt Patricia is going to look like he's rushing 7 and rush 4. Arthur Smith's going to have to change protection, and Julian Sayan's going to have to know where everybody is coming. And it's that kind of game that we're about to go into with the most talented college teams. 5 years ago, dual threat quarterbacks, running 90 plays, that's gone. It might come back, but right now, what Ohio State's doing is cutting edge. It was so hard last year at the Cotton Bowl for Ryan Day to deal with Brian Hartline leaving, helping the play calling. He's got 2 veteran coordinators now that have both been head coaches in the NFL. It's an extraordinary staff.
It is, and an extraordinary schedule, including the non-conference, Jerry. I give Ohio State a lot of credit. There are not many high-profile programs still doing what Ryan Day is doing, being willing to schedule home-and-home non-conference games like the one Ohio State has against Texas. Of course, they were in Columbus last year to start the year, won that game. Now they will go to Texas in week 2. What else stands out about this schedule?
Well, I think playing Ball State and Kent State, historically, the MAC and the Big Ten have been in the same footprint, and this is a good way where some of the Big Ten schools can help the MAC schools in their state or even in other states. So I think it's great that the Big Ten plays the MAC schools. You already mentioned Texas. I think this is obviously a very manageable conference schedule. So I think it's a great schedule, both non-conference and conference, Rick.
I will say I think their road schedule is as tough as it's been perhaps in recent years. You go to Texas, you go to Iowa, you go to Indiana, you go to USC, and a lot is expected of Lincoln Riley's Trojans this year. The one thing that never seems to change in Columbus, Jerry, is recruiting. Ohio State is going to go out and get the best player regardless of position and regardless of position depth. I mean, we've been saying it year after year. They have 4-star after 5-star wide receivers, and yet the best guys at that position are still going to Ohio State. I'm assuming not a lot changes this year, next year, any year that Ryan Day is on that staff with recruiting at Ohio State.
Right. I mean, I think we're talking about the portal so much, but really it's you still build your team with the high school recruiting. At Ohio State, for as long as I can remember, when I was in college, and we'd be talking about our team, and then we'd see Ohio State on TV, and we'd say, "Oh my goodness, I'm glad we don't play them. They have so much talent." That's still true now, and Ohio State will continue to recruit. They're always going to be ranked in the top 5 in recruiting in the nation, and in the top 2 or 3 in the conference. So, as much as things have changed, high school recruiting is really important, and nobody does it better than Ohio State.
And you don't have to sell the program. That's one advantage that Ryan Day has. Maybe Curt Cignetti getting there now after 2 unbelievable years, and Michigan surely as well.